April
13th.
Monday, and it's 7:09, and it will all come to order as there's a quorum. Only missing Carlos. I didn't hear from him. I think he might be traveling.
Oh.
And Lori, thank you for the minutes. So we have minutes. We have the public recording. There's nobody else in attendance. Under correspondence, so we got the minutes from last meeting, but not any other ones from Carlos. And we are trying to update. If you look on the town website, we've been mailing them, but they haven't been being posted, but we're remailing them again, so that's good. So we'll keep the website updated. We're also going to keep a copy of the agenda and the minutes here in the library again, just because it's our committee, so, and it's a public building, and so we should have ours here too, so that we don't have to say, go see them in town
We
hall.
always used to, when
Yeah, I don't know, no, never in my tenure that I can
Really?
remember. So I don't know when it stopped,
Yeah.
but Amy's like, well,
Well, it's just a duplication, so
Yeah.
someone stopped it.
So I sent you everything they didn't have at town hall, but then I need to probably go back at some point for other ones you might not have.
Yeah, we need to go through it and sort of figure out if we're missing things.
yeah, and then Carlos has, said he thinks he had maybe Ann's email wrong, but anyway. So, there's nothing else under correspondence unless anybody else has something.
So we have the minutes from last, right?
Right, so that's next, approval of minutes.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So did anybody have any changes? They were short, sweet, and to the point.
And then I made a mistake, they were short, and I'm like, oh, there's a wrong word in there.
So can I have a motion to accept the minutes as they are?
I'll make that motion to accept them.
Second?
Second.
All in
We're
favor?
all fighting over who's second.
Aye.
I
Any-
wasn't here.
So, Anne Marie's abstaining. But you saw that,
Yes, I saw them.
minor changes in the
And I forgot to email that to you, didn't I? The rest of the bylaws.
bylaws.
Or did I? You were sick. Look through your email and you tell me if I didn't send them.
Can
Okay.
you get me a pencil when you go, and maybe a box of tissues?
Okay.
Thank you. There often is.
Somewhere. Socks and underwear.
Glasses, we're doing good over here.
I know. I don't know how, I
Oh, she
walked out
found
without my pocketbook. Thank you. And I dropped something on my shirt, so it must have been, I had to change my shirt. So you'll email them if you don't have them.
Lori doesn't have them yet.
So our director's report, I actually tried to print it, but I didn't.
No,
So
she left a bunch.
Okay, so,
Nope, she's
Do you
got one.
need one?
I have one here, they gave it to me. So I guess these will be the categories, even though there's not something.
Okay, so the numbers aren't on.
You know, she's
I
got
think-
notes next to her too, as
Yeah.
well as.
I think that 1057 might be correct.
Although we need to fix presented at for the meeting date.
Okay, good. And the year.
Oh,
So she must be using a template from
Yeah, I'm sure.
Natalie or,
so this would be for
April.
March. Presented
Yes,
at
March
the
is-
April.
thank you.
In March 2015.
Right,
Presented at
So we're
the
just-
April 13th.
Yeah.
2015
You know,
meeting.
I did
We're-
this thing 3 times.
we're-
It's driving me
we're
crazy. Yeah, thank
forgiving. Yeah.
Whatever.
Template, day 1, day 2, report 1 month and a half.
Yeah.
We're good. So is this 1057 a real number?
Yes, it is.
That's what I thought.
It's bold, that's how I know it's a
Yeah.
real number.
And, feel comfortable to make this, your report.
Yeah, I'll modify it as I go
I,
along.
I had mentioned to Amy that I did like the growth that, previous director, had, as a percent increase from, but, Amy pointed out, that's not always the way, not always the value add, but people do respond to numbers.
Yeah, no, they definitely do, that's true.
So is the programs true?
The numbers that are in there are actually real, just the date was wrong.
Yep.
Yeah.
We
So
don't
under
have any
two,
numbers on the museum passes, oh,
On individual, no.
so that's the month of March, so that
No,
doesn't
this is
include
all
vacation.
actually April. All this data is just for April.
So it's only 7, 2 to 2
13
2
days.
weeks, yep, 13 days.
Okay, so this is, so you,
Sorry about that.
that's okay, usually we report on the month before at our next month.
Oh, okay,
So you're reporting on a closed month.
right, okay, gotcha.
So you got half of next month's all done.
I just have to add the next one.
Easy.
So this doesn't include April vacation for the museum passes.
No.
Cool.
That's not,
And then two, the press information, so do you know if we put out the book, sale and open house information?
To newspaper, I don't know, actually, the person who's doing the book sale is taking care of that.
No, Diana was supposed to take care of that, so,
why would Diana be
because she has all the fax numbers that we traditionally send, and so it's one fax to the multiple, the multiple places and her contacts with the newspapers. So I had sent an email to you saying, could you ask Diana if she had done it, because Lisa had asked me, and I'm like, I don't know, I'll ask Amy.
All around the circle. So we'll figure that out.
yeah, the more information we get out, the better.
Mm-hmm.
The book cart sale, do we have a total for the year on that?
Probably somewhere, but no, I don't know right off. the
Because we
top.
add that to the book sale
Right.
at the end, so in May, it would be good to end it for the May meeting.
I've been depositing money,
Good.
so, and when I got here, there was a drawer full of money that just was not accounted for in any way, shape, or form. So probably a lot of that was book sale money, copy money, who knows what it was, it
Yeah, we've
amounted
gotta
to about
keep that in
$400, so I deposited it.
So how much did you deposit? $404?
Yep,
And, so now you have a register?
yeah, kinda sorta, but we need to change that up again, I think. Yes, I do, we keep track of. So here it says sales from book sale,
$850 for the,
well, that's this time, and when I made the deposit on April 9th, I put in $42.
Okay, well, we don't see that, right? We don't have a copy of that. do
Oh,
we?
you don't, I'm sorry.
No. I don't think
you
so.
might ask that, she may know, because they were supposed to keep track every month of what was sold from the book cards.
Yeah, I would imagine that would be a good practice.
For the last 6 months.
But when I got here, there wasn't anything,
Yeah.
so
You can
I've
ask.
started that up.
Good.
No, I made a ledger and we're keeping
Good.
track of everything now.
Excellent.
So is there anything that you would like to highlight from this, Amy, to us?
Well, I guess mostly, I could speak to some of the updates.
Bless you.
Stephanie Smith began work last Tuesday, and she's a library assistant, and she'll be working 14 and a half hours a week, and she's currently enrolled in Simmons Library Science Department, which is great. I reposted the youth services position. I've gotten probably 15 letters of interest. I'm going to interview 5. I interviewed 2 people today. I interviewed 2 people tomorrow and 1 person on Wednesday so far. I have created a weekly schedule that is the weekly schedule.
Okay.
So if people need to change their schedule, it's their responsibility. I have to approve it, but they need to like trade with somebody.
Right,
And I
right.
cannot go over their hours, so that's kind of that. Cause I cannot spend all that time redoing the schedule every day.
So
So
what
if,
happens when they have a day off or sick or whatever? Do you have extra?
Well, if they're sick, then, you know, we scramble because we still don't have extra staff.
Well, that's what I say, then somebody would have to be going over their schedule
Well, I
hours.
guess in that, or if I'm not working, then I work, but I'm usually here anyway, so.
Cause I know, you know, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
with the two on at all times.
Right, but the main, you know, there will always be some little exceptions to the rule, but
Mhm.
that's not the, I mean, the way, what we want is to have standard hours, standard,
Oh, definitely.
definitely, like, you know, within our budget.
Mhm.
so on Saturdays, you were saying that Stephanie works Saturdays, so is it gonna be a standard Saturday, library assistant versus a rotating the staff through
Well,
Saturdays?
first, we're gonna rotate staff, like I and Diana, and, actually next weekend Lauren is working, so we can train them.
Okay,
But, you know, come midsummer, they'll be pretty well trained, I think, and we can, you know, off and on, stop in, et cetera, but they'll be the two library people for Saturday.
Stephanie and Liz,
Mhm.
perfect.
Yeah. So I made some deposits. $700 was a reimbursement from, I'm not sure, it was the Mass Cultural Council, is it the Groveland
Groveland Cultural
Humanities?
Council,
I'm sorry, what?
Groveland Cultural Council,
Is that what it is? Okay,
who's in
so
charge of that now?
I have no idea. But it was a reimbursement for a program that was done, in 2014, and that's not a good thing to do. We need to reimburse for the same fiscal year, right?
I think the
So-
woman that was in charge died.
She did, Jan.
So I think that in that particular
what
instance,
happened,
they
yeah.
might have been,
Yeah,
cause
Okay.
I don't know who took over for Jan.
I don't know, but I don't even know who else was on Jan Lyden.
Like,
Oh.
She was in charge, she was
yeah.
the chair. Yeah.
Very.
yeah. So that could be an exception to the rule,
Uh-huh.
could be.
That's probably why.
Well, that's good to note, so that
Yeah.
they don't think it's gonna be happening regularly.
No,
Yeah,
it doesn't.
because it's good to, you know, get that kind of money for a program, so.
Yeah, no, that was good. And then the 400 and 499, like we discussed already, was a combination of fines, book sales, fees, donations, blah, blah, blah.
So you're gonna do deposit,
I already did.
no, I mean monthly or bi-weekly, or
Well, that, we need to,
see how much is coming in?
yeah. So, and I think I talk about that down here. I've been spending a lot of time just calling the different vendors we deal with, finding out if we owe them any money. Luckily, most of them we don't. But getting my name put on the accounts,
Right.
finding out what exactly they provide to us and what we're paying for, et cetera, et cetera. So, I'm going to, try to get, I say here, I wanna get some bids for some of the services that we have currently from Ingram, Constant Contact, Library Insight, because we need to just sort of streamline a lot of, there's a lot of redundancy.
Yes.
And we're paying a lot of money for all this redundancy too, so, you know, like, what really are they giving us, and, you know, can we get it for a better cost? But
Okay.
most of this has already been paid for this year, so it'll be next year, but,
Yeah, but it's a good year, since it's already paid, you don't have to worry about the payment, but it's a good year to like outline the contracts and
Yeah.
be able
Right.
to,
And next
Yeah.
year's coming
yeah.
so very
And
quickly.
I know it does, it really does.
June, July will be here before we know it.
so, I finished the interim, draft, well, I have a draft of the preservation report, the
Can we
interim
back up
report.
for 1 second,
Yep.
Amy? So did you go over the donation account thing as of July 1st?
Oh, no, I didn't, I somehow, boy, that's like the most important thing here.
Well, that's something
Okay.
we've been talking about, and that,
But this is good, because
Yeah.
I think this is, you know, the definitive answer that we've been looking for. Denise, from Denise. So as of July 1st, 2015, we will open, a new donations account will be opened, and all donations that we get from July 1st on will go into that new account. The old account needs to be drawn down by the end of, by June 30th, 2016, needs to be gone.
2015.
or is she giving us a year to
16,
spend
she's
it?
giving us a year.
Oh,
Great.
okay, all right.
Okay.
So from
I was
now
thinking of all the
on,
things.
so from now on, as we're keeping track of the money that we get copy money, fines sometimes, mostly it's copy money. So that money goes back into the town's general fund.
It always should have.
And donations, like specific donations, go to the donation, but the selectmen need to approve or accept the donations. And they will accept the donations and then, but they would be designated for the benefit of the library. So it'll be in a separate donation account for the benefit of the library, but it all needs to be accepted, gifts need to be accepted by the selectmen.
Is the donation account under the library's name?
I can't quite make, will it be? No, I think it'll be under the town of Groveland for the benefit of the
Probably in the
FBO,
general
the-
fund and just a line item for us, that's what I would think.
I'm not
they
sure
don't
how they're
have
gonna set
different
it up.
accounts for everything.
So I guess maybe the bigger question is will they be giving you that accounting line?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So then right now I've been doing deposits, like we had book sales, the book at the town hall, the
Groveland,
Groveland.
the town
of
of Groveland.
Groveland book, and a few people had sent in donations, so I had been that's normally what had been done in the past, but should that now go through you? Should you be doing the deposit? Should I be, like, how are we to do that going forward?
Well, I think for right now, until July 1st, we can continue to make, now do you go to the bank and make the deposit?
No, I go to town hall.
You go to town hall, so it's all going to the same place.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter, I mean, I got this check for the $700 somehow ended up with me, so I just gave that. And then I had collected all that cash that was here, so that's what that deposit was.
But then you had said donations in here, so did you get any donations, what did it say?
Annual
She didn't
appeal,
know what that
Fines,
was.
book sales, fees, donations, and sales.
So right now we're
Well,
still
I just did it
defining.
just
She got
because
an
of the
envelope
cash.
full of
Okay,
cash.
Right.
okay.
But actually, from now on, I'm trying to separate everything,
Okay.
but come July 1st, it's definitely separated.
Okay.
So speaking of donations and the annual appeal, can you take that down off of the website, because that's like an old, and it's on
Sure.
every page.
I've just now figured out how to get access to the website, because it's like, there were all these passwords that were locked in and I didn't, identities that were locked in and I didn't have the password, so it was a little crazy, but
Now, can they shut down all those old passwords now?
yes, I have done that. Took me like 3 hours for the person to do it, but I finally did it.
Thank you.
Awesome.
It's amazing, like
It's
as simple as
Little things take forever.
Yeah. It's
But-
going to
Good
finally
housekeeping.
be changed that lost books, that money doesn't go into the donation account. It goes back into the general funds,
Yes.
where it came out of,
Right.
which it always should have been.
Right.
But,
Oh, no, that's what because I had a lost book check that I just deposited. That was for,
From now on, it will go into the
that went into the
fund.
general fund.
Oh, okay, good.
And then the other things I put in for the donation, we had something for the Woodbury collection, there was some pictures
Yeah.
and.
Yeah, so those
$12
things are
a piece.
specifically
Yeah,
earmarked for
Yeah,
donation.
so I did 2 different donations just now.
Uh-huh.
One was donation and one was general for the
Good.
lost book.
You mean 2 different deposits.
Yes, I do. I have no idea what I said, but yes, I do.
it wasn't
Another
always,
G
it
word.
wasn't always thus. It was lost books, everything went in, and it went into the Friends of the Library
Well,
for
that's what I
years.
mean, that's
and
what,
it went
you
into,
know, it was all kind of, I couldn't
donation
tell
account.
what was supposed to be what,
But
so.
for the best accounting, if it came out
Yeah.
of the general fund,
So,
it would
exactly.
go into the
If
general
we
fund.
have a general appeal, or if we have a book sale
Mhm.
next year, then that would be
In the donation.
in our donation.
That's
Yeah.
right.
For
Right.
a library.
Right.
And
Or
then we
the
can be
Friends.
more specific, I mean, we're always specific with our annual appeal,
Mhm.
so we can be, when the book sale money comes in, it's usually for programs, so you can just make sure it says programs, and,
Mhm.
Yeah.
bake sale money usually goes for, I
It
shouldn't
would
say
be a
usually, it was,
sub-designation. This year, it'll all go in the same place.
yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have to necessarily, as long as it's a donation, it can be a donation for, here it's $100, do whatever you want with it. But
Right.
it doesn't have to be for a
Yeah.
particular thing, it does have to be a donation.
Mhm.
Excellent, thanks for,
And I think the
Bring that
bookkeeping
up.
end of, when it's for a specific thing, would be on our,
Mm-hmm.
probably
On
on
our
our
ledger.
shoulders rather
That's
than
right.
town, yeah.
So I finished this draft of the preservation report. I spoke to Gregor today. He was very kind and said he would read the report that I wrote and let me know if it needed anything, whatever it's due in 2 days on the 15th, so.
So he's proofing it for you. Excellent,
Yeah.
That's nice.
excellent.
Yeah. I think he was, he's very nice and I think he's sympathetic to
Yep.
what's been
Yeah.
going on, so,
Excellent.
they don't wanna see us fail.
No,
No.
right,
Right?
that's what's so great.
But he did really emphasize that we need to get that 5-year plan done ASAP.
Yeah.
He must have
So
said
it's
that
For the
3 times.
for the preservation.
No,
No,
Or
our
the
five
general,
year,
our
everything.
5-year.
No,
okay.
no,
No.
wait, it is the 5-year plan for the preservation.
Yeah,
Okay. Plus
But
we
it's
need
also,
that.
we need the 5-year
We also need
strategic plan
For the library.
for the library.
Right.
So it can all be meshed together,
Exactly.
but the part that goes for preservation must be done, like no later than September 30th.
Right. And I think we only have till October 1st for the strategic
Library.
plan, that expires
Yeah.
this October,
So,
so.
at any rate, he must, like I said, he emphasized that.
And the one thing that would not have to be in the plan for this preservation would be like the community, that can be without that, but for the big strategic plan.
Oh, yeah,
for the
we
overall
definitely
library,
have to
then you
do
have to bring in, community mail, we always open it up to
Uh-huh.
ideas and.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah, we
good, we
did the
need to
survey.
map that out and have a couple of preliminary
We've got the survey
hearings
ready.
and-
Yeah.
We
Okay.
wrote it up
Survey
and we
ready.
just never sent it last time,
5
so
years
it's
goes
ready.
by awfully fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd like to see the survey if I could. and
Yeah,
just
I will
sort of
send that to you.
Maybe get some, take a look at it. and-
Probably similar to the one we did before.
Yeah, I'm
The
sure.
first time.
so I think Jen had the experience with, was it Survey Monkey, or were you gonna put it on something else?
I
Because-
use Constant Contact, I know they use Constant Contact here, but I would strongly suggest they go to go to MailChimp,
Yeah,
it's just easier,
Okay.
and
We did the very first time we used Survey Monkey, that was.
oh, I'm sorry, for SurveyMonkey, for the survey questions,
Right.
yes, SurveyMonkey, yes, I'm sorry, so
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
going back to
MailChimp,
email.
wait a minute.
I was going back to
MailChimp.
I was reading up here to mail.
There's
the
a lot of
email
monkey
that I-
business going on.
MailChimp is another way to send
Yeah.
things
I
out.
know.
Yeah.
SurveyMonkey, yes,
MailChimp.
but we can also do it through our Constant Contact account, and it might be cheaper to do it that way.
Because we were talking about, because we had questions with sub-questions, and we wanted them tallied as well.
Right, and SurveyMonkey is free if you have 10 questions.
Mhm.
Anything more than 10 questions, then you have to pay for.
Mhm.
So, but because we currently use Constant Contact, I think we can pay for their survey. I know we can pay for their survey option. It's just a few dollars more a month, and you can turn it on and turn it off as you need it, so you're not always paying that extra 15 or whatever it is a month
okay,
for the survey.
For a couple of months.
Right.
Yeah.
okay.
We may wanna look
Check
at
into
that,
that.
cause that was done under different circumstances at the time that we did that survey.
Yeah, so you'll send the draft, I mean,
I can
it's
send it,
still
yeah.
only a draft. 'cause
Yeah, I'll send
it'll
that.
all
I think
have
I've
to
got 2 versions, so.
be renewed.
Okay.
Good.
And speaking of that, I'm working with the MDLC to see if we can get a Google Apps for nonprofit account for the library, which would give us things like, surveys from Google and stuff like that we could use, but definitely mail, calendar, things like that, which would make life a lot easier. But we're not a nonprofit and I'm not sure we can do it. The MDLC is willing to try it, but, anyway, I've
So
been,
MVLC is not a nonprofit?
they're an umbrella organization and so we would have to have our domain as a subdomain of theirs and like all this other stuff and, so anyway, that's just in process and we'll
Excellent.
see.
Finding creative answers, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Isn't the library under the town's 501c3?
Yeah, but
But
Google
donation.
charges, it's government, so.
Okay.
Yeah, Google charges government.
Actually, government is, the town is not a 501c3, I don't
No,
think.
but I think they maintain a 501c3.
I think they
Which
just,
is how
Usually it's a
donations would
community
come in.
organization. If there was a community organization that we could be underneath, the Friends, for
Yeah.
instance.
We had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
did you ask
Speaking of
Denise
friends-
whether there is a community that we could be under?
Actually, that's a good question, I haven't.
Yeah, because there might be something I don't know about. What about you, Kathy? Could be something we just don't know.
Could be.
Yeah,
Yeah, cause in one town I worked in, there was like
yeah.
just like a community activities
Yeah,
committee or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah, and it might, because there's so many, like the soccer and all, it might be in athletic fields or I
But
don't
you
know.
have to be designated too as an umbrella organization.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so ask her, we might have an answer.
Which is the problem with the MBLC, I don't
Yeah.
think they have that kind of status.
Right, and she might say, everybody should maintain separate, but who knows?
So anyway, speaking of friends, Katie Sullivan has been in a couple times, she emailed me the minutes of the past friends group meetings. And so we're gonna, sort of start inching in that direction.
Good.
Good.
Have you done any more research on finding out how much it costs? 'Cause I know we had
No,
talked
not
about
yet.
it, yeah.
I was kinda waiting for somebody to make a move and then research it, but,
The
so
group,
now it looks like,
not that group, but the group before that had done research into it.
yeah,
been in
it's
touch
not,
with the
it really
Attorney
isn't that
General's
much
office.
because you're not gonna raise like, huge sums of money.
Yeah.
It's different than a foundation, if you have a foundation for like a capital campaign or
Right.
something, then there's a much bigger fee. But I don't think it's very much, I think it might be like $50 even, it's pretty,
I'm just
Wow.
wondering if we can, depending on how we do that, if maybe some of the book sale money can be put towards
Mhm.
putting this together so we can get ourselves moving
I don't
to,
think you can,
if it's a donation, it could be.
yeah,
well, to go to an outside private group, I'm not sure that,
But an outside private group
but it
is
would be
running
up
the
to
book
the
sale.
people running the.
Exactly, I started thinking
Yeah.
about this the other day, and just saying,
Yeah.
if it is a small amount like that, can that little chunk come out so this organization can get started and we can move forward
Yeah.
with,
that's a good
everything else
idea.
that we're
We should
doing.
check that out, cause
I
usually
don't
it is the
know.
friends that run book
Right.
sales and,
Yeah.
Right.
it's a lot of volunteers who are doing this book sale.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
And, it used to be, our friends that did it, but when they
Uh-huh.
stopped.
Right.
No.
So Denise and I were talking, and she recommends that we change some of the ways we're doing things to sort of expedite payments. And so this first thing here is designate the director to sign warrants for expenditures, and then provide the board of trustees with a summary at the monthly meetings. That way, like for instance, I have another thing needs to be signed, and if you guys weren't gonna be here, then it would be sitting here for weeks, because,
No,
you
you
know what I mean?
just sent out
But
an
isn't there
email.
a schedule for the warrants, and it's like every other week?
There is, but you
Yeah.
don't have to do it every other week,
Oh,
you can pay like
Yeah.
monthly, right, like most people pay bills monthly.
I think
Is
the
that-
problem with that was they were running into overdue charges.
Right.
People
Finance.
that
Yeah,
being
that's
reimbursed
why we-
and stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's why we put in signing every 2 weeks,
Okay.
so that,
But I guess what she's suggesting is that you guys don't need to sign, that I could sign, you'd have to vote to give me authority to sign, and then
Does that
we would
need to
get a
be signed?
report.
it's not, I don't think that's the thing.
Yeah, that does need to be signed, but, then you would get a report as to what has been spent,
After the fact.
yes. So that's one thing, for you guys to think about. And the other thing is I've been investigating petty cash and the donation account. So the petty cash kinda came in with the donation account because I deposited like everything we had, except for $10 so we could make change, so, so I put it out to the listserv and I got a bunch of responses,
Didn't we used to have a petty cash?
That's what I thought, that little
But
envelope in the
but it-
drawer.
but it
We
was-
were told we weren't supposed to have, there was no such thing as a petty cash account for any department.
right, because where's the money coming from?
Right.
Yeah.
So I got, 20 responses, 5 saying no, they don't have petty cash, 15 say yes, they do. Petty cash is funded by either the Friends Group or the trustees' donation accounts, basically. And they can range from 50 to, or 25 to, one person has 200, which is, and I think maybe 50 would be totally,
You'd really have
Doable.
to check with Denise and make sure that we can do that. There's been
yes, she's,
some problems.
actually I've talked to her about this.
Yeah.
As
Oh,
long
good.
as it's funded by, not the town, like she won't fund it.
Right,
But if we had a friends group, they could fund it, or the trustees would be able to fund it out of the donation account, I guess. that's what
Do you
she
think
was-
50 though, like if you're doing pizza and drinks and that kind of thing,
There's 50 right there.
that could eat up your 50 right
It's
there.
either that or you have to determine what is petty
Some
cash.
of
I
it's
think petty
flashing.
cash is $5 or $10.
Yeah.
I don't think petty cash is $50.
No.
I think if it's a $50 expense, you need to then expense it
Right.
the proper
Except
way.
for the hook here is that it takes forever to get reimbursed, right?
It's always
Takes
been
2
the hook.
weeks.
It's always been the hook. It
Okay.
takes
So
2
it's
weeks.
long-
I have to
than
show
two.
my credit card and all
Right.
this rigmarole. It's a pain in the you know what.
Yeah.
So, and like the staff was gonna do some programming next week. And I said, well, do you need money for it? And they were like, yeah. And I said, well, I don't have petty cash. So, and they're like, well, then forget it. Like if they want programming, then they're gonna need to give us petty cash. Otherwise, we're just not gonna do it because
They
we're not
being
gonna
who?
pay
They being who?
staff people here.
So-
If they want programming, they are gonna have to pay. Who is
Yeah,
they?
that's
I
why
know.
you
The
do
town.
trustees,
Yeah.
us.
I'm not, is it a group? Is it, I mean, who
No,
do
no,
they mean by
staff.
I mean,
No.
so if the
We're gonna
staff,
do programming for school vacation week.
Right.
So we need some little, like pipe
so
cleaners.
my question
juice,
is that,
something.
the phrase, piss poor planning and, not, is that, I mean, it's not like April vacation
Just
is,
came
No, I
just
know,
came
I
up.
agree.
So,
I agree.
Calendar.
But they
it's-
still, okay, to go out and purchase the things, they're putting out their own money.
Yes,
And
I
that's
know,
how-
but
yeah.
that to
And then
me,
to
that
be
to me
reimbursed.
is ridiculous that you don't know in advance and that you put in
Right,
an
right.
order and it comes in and you pay the vendor.
I agree with this.
Yeah.
For programming, but on the other hand, the other day, the bathroom flooded and the plungers that we have, all 3 of them, are too small for the toilet.
Mhm.
So it would have been nice to have some money I could have gone and bought a plunger that actually would work for the toilet, right?
Yes, I agree.
Yes.
So, I mean, there
No, and there
are
are things you can't
little
purchase from a
emergency
vendor.
things.
need
a Yeah.
petty cash account.
I mean, just
I
drinks
mean,
if
you're gonna
going
get juice,
out
you're gonna,
or-
a vendor to get juice and a pizza
Well, the
party
thing
or
is I'm gonna
cupcakes or-
buy a bunch, like if we know we're gonna need juice, let's just buy a bunch of juice,
But-
buy a bunch of water.
You know, if it's a particular, I don't know.
Right,
I'm
so
just-
so my theory is that we approve programming for so far in advance. So for every quarter you buy
Right.
the you do the bulk purchase.
Right.
And yes, this is a municipality and it is a public library, so you're not gonna buy juice from Staples or water from Staples, but you can,
Uh-huh.
and we wouldn't justify that kind of, but stopping on your way to work and
And getting reimbursed 2 weeks later.
And-
It's the sad thing is the town's never had a charge card to do these. Usually it's my charge card that does some of the bigger things, and I'm reimbursed within a couple of weeks. And that's how we built the shed. It's not. There's no way to.
right in the
But
previous.
again, with planning, if you plan things in advance, then, I
Right.
mean,
Right.
I had no idea these guys were even doing this, and I was like, what are you doing?
That's not the vote.
I don't think $50 to have on hand.
No, I
No
totally
big deal.
agree.
I don't think so
agree.
either. I'm just worried about replenishing the $50
Yeah.
when they go buy 17 pizzas.
Well, but I
You
think,
know what
I think
mean?
that if you have the petty cash for emergencies.
Right.
Emergency things, I think, but if you know in advance and you can plan it out now that you're here, and these kind of things can
Yeah.
happen, but I
so,
don't
okay,
think.
take the
50
pizza scenario, right? So
Yeah.
we have an
team
event,
Just teen night,
Teen
yeah,
night.
movies
Yeah,
and
we'll
pizza.
and we
Okay.
want 3
Yeah.
pizzas.
Right.
So we put in, like, is the town gonna write a check to the pizza place ahead of time?
No.
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 Well,
No. You
I
have to
also
pay
have,
for it and then be
I
reimbursed.
do have a question about that. We used to be able to do something, but it wasn't a town, so if you knew it was coming up,
Oh.
then you could get that money.
Here we absolutely have to turn in a receipt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Return a receipt, yeah.
So here's the
Okay.
other thing, that we could have an account at the pizza place. Some of
Right.
the people that
Right.
responded, they said, well, they have an account at the hardware store,
Yeah,
or an account at the
Now
whatever.
maybe this has changed with Denise. The last
Well-
finance director wouldn't allow any
No, I'm not saying
accounts.
that Denise does this, I
Yeah.
ask a bunch of library directors.
Right.
And some of the responses from other library
they do
directors were that they had an account at the hardware store, so if they
Yeah.
needed something there, or, so maybe we could get an account at the pizza place across the street.
Right. It's not a bad idea to find
Well,
out.
if you can do
You
it.
can ask,
Yeah.
but I don't think you can. But you
I
can
don't-
ask.
Yeah.
I don't
know.
I wouldn't be disappointed
I
in
didn't-
the answer if it's no.
No,
I would think that's a fabulous
Yeah.
idea.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I do too.
Abachan, I would do the 2 pizza places
Yeah, the Aubuchon hardware.
But you know, water and juice, we can just buy
Yeah.
cases of it and
Right.
store it.
Yeah, I often
it's dumb
buy
to
it when
go
it's on
buy it.
sale and bring it in too.
Yeah.
Because, it's on sale at Mark Basket, I'm like, 2 cases is gonna go, no, Diana's never gonna not, or the programs are never gonna not use water.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right,
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, because for instance, she went out and bought water for the authors group 2
right.
weeks ago. You know, when I paid her with the cash that was in the drawer, and I saved the receipt and I recorded it and everything, but it, you know, was kind of not really the way you want to keep on operating.
Right.
So my theory is let us know whether we can have the accounts at the pizza place.
But let's be careful with that, because there are several places in town that donate to our auction, and
But the other thing is,
So,
who
you're gonna
could order pizza, and it could get out of hand pretty
That's
darn
true.
quickly
Yeah.
before you
you
really
can't
know.
do that. You really can't do that.
I'd be a little bit worried,
dead
if
set
someone
against
else said, hey, I'm calling in, and
Yeah, you're right. There's wild teenagers.
And
Yeah,
plus,
we went
you know what, you're showing favoritism for one, but the town is, how many pizza places do we have?
Yeah, that's right, there are quite a few
Yeah,
pizza
it's
places.
a little animosity.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we then,
Or rotate-
because of
rotate.
the pizza is an issue.
Well,
And
how
we
many
are
times,
going
how many
into
times,
summer.
how many times do we have pizza?
Well, we are going into summer,
Yeah.
so there's going to be more programming.
Yeah,
And really, if you want teens to come to the library, you
Yeah.
have to give them
Yeah.
pizza.
I think the last time
feed
we
them.
did, you paid for it,
Right, and I paid for the ice cream social.
Right.
and then.
And I
So
just
the
bought, and
library
I just
things,
bought
I mean,
something
that's,
through Amazon, I have to run through
yeah,
to be
so
reimbursed.
the thing is like,
Yeah.
the donation account, or I don't know, we need to figure out a way to earmark money for programming. You know, I mean, like, we do
Well, I
programming,
think we
so,
do in the summer, we
But for
do
those things that can't be ordered,
ordered,
yeah,
right.
like a pizza, you can't.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, I
Right.
don't know, I guess I think a petty cash account that has enough, I mean, what do you usually spend
so
in a
like
month?
say well, this would go until you deplete it, so if
Yeah.
you had $100.
And then the first time you
And
don't
then
have
after
enough
6 or
slips
7
that equal
months,
$100, the account stops. I mean, that's the way we
or
do
you
it at our
replenish
office.
it, yeah.
Yeah, you put in your receipts for the 100 or
Exactly.
75 of the 100, and
Yep.
you get that 75 back. And
Right.
then if people can't give me the slips, it's like, can't reimburse
you
you
can't
if
get
we
the
don't have
money.
the slip.
So it would be a little separate fund that we would keep track of with the receipts and everything, and it would just go to you guys, the trustees. And it would be from donations.
Well, my theory is that it's gotta be a little bit more than $50 if we're gonna do, fund a couple of those things, so, can you,
Well, okay, wait, now when we're thinking summer, every year we said about, okay, summer programming, and I know we don't have, a youth director right now, but she'll say, well, with summer program, I'm gonna do, these are my plans, and it's gonna cost, I'm requesting $750 to
Right.
do it, or
and it's
whatever.
in the budget.
And within that is the pizza money and
Yeah.
everything in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a
So,
separate thing. I'm
that's
talking
separate,
about
but
like,
so,
But how does she access that money when she needs it on that day for the pizza?
Oh, I see
So
what
they
you're
put in
saying.
Yeah.
warrants
You
to
can't
pay
just
the
say-
entertainers and.
beforehand, right.
yeah, but
that kind
we're
of
talking about
Yeah, but-
incidentals, like, I need it right now.
Yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's one
And
thing
it-
to
and
know,
it
you don't
is-
know
it
how many
does take-
people are gonna be here
That's true.
necessarily to know, or where you're gonna get the pizza,
Right.
or, I think that's a
Yeah,
tough
yeah,
call
that is.
to make, or when
And,
you
and
need a
I
blender.
understand it's
Yeah.
very hard
I still didn't have
to ask staff to wait to be reimbursed.
yeah,
Because,
I mean, that's one of the reasons
I mean, even
why,
me, I bought the knitting needles, I'm like, where is that money?
Yeah, you know,
because you don't wanna lose track of it.
Well, yeah, because I kept writing it on my little, and she gave it to me the other day, I shouldn't say, Amy gave it to me the other day, I'm like, good, because I was gonna bring it up at the trustees meeting, like, it's been over a month.
But it
Yeah.
takes, I know, the
Because I was
processing
figuring
part.
out how to deal with it. I didn't know how to,
How to-
where
right,
I was gonna get
and
the
I'm not
money to
blaming
pay
you, but
and
I'm saying,
everything.
and if you're here every day and you're, doing something, after a while you lose track of
Right. And then
what you
you're
have
down,
been and haven't
know
been.
and then
That's
you're
true.
down $20 and at my, and, some,
Right.
Right.
it's not okay. Different experiences.
So you might say, I mean, most of the people said, I think $100. I have the little responses here, but
Yeah,
I don't think
I would feel
100 is
more
outrageous.
comfortable with
No.
it.
I don't think it's outrageous at
No.
all.
I just think we need to make sure Denise said it can be done.
1, 2, yeah, 3.
If it's
knows
funded
that
by-
counts
If
it.
it's funded
The
by you
donation
guys,
account.
it doesn't have anything to do with her.
But it's funded by,
And then maybe. if
from the
it's just-
donation account,
Yeah.
not by us,
And
but
that-
from
Right.
the donation account.
Yeah.
Approved
That account
by
is gonna
us.
be depleted as they spend money, but it's also gonna get money put into it as they get things too.
Well, as of
No, you
July
probably
first,
gotta
we need to
separate
open
that.
up, Denise is gonna open up a separate
Right.
new account, and so anything from there on goes into the new account.
Right.
And we do have to deplete the old account by June 30th.
But you're
She
talking
can't
about,
money
you're
that
talking about the
water.
$100 in the drawer.
$100 in the drawer.
Oh, I'm sorry, so go
Yeah,
ahead.
I mean, you're gonna take in book sales off the cart and stuff like that. So
No, you
No,
can't money
no,
the
no,
water,
no, no,
it's
it would
gotta
be
be
a
But isn't that
strict.
considered a donation?
No,
No, that's a purchase.
so
No,
that's
cause
why
then you're really not gonna be able
No,
to track that $100.
you need to be able to just have like imagine like a separate box with $100
Yeah.
in it,
Okay.
and then everything received.
Wait,
goes
but
in.
I see what you're saying, cause this is what I was saying before, is how is that replenished?
And it could be
Do we go to the
replenished.
bank and take $100 out of our donation account
No,
every?
she put in the slips to town hall to get a check made out to her again for the petty cash account. So if she was at 75 of the 100,
No,
No.
okay.
So here, imagine this.
this is the issue that I'm having, is
Okay.
how
do we
does it
the
get
first
replenished?
$100? Let's start with that.
Okay, so you have a donation account, right? That's
Yes.
for the benefit of the library.
Yes.
So, you guys decide that you wanna fund a petty cash account. You get $100 out of that account,
How do we get that?
write a check, go to the bank.
But that's the
But
account
that
managed by
account
the
is-
town.
Is a
Jackie,
town account.
Jackie's,
That's the town
Yeah,
account
but it's
you're
for the
talking
benefit
about.
of the library.
do we
But you
sign
can't
a
just go
warrant
take a hundred.
asking for,
So we
A
must have
check?
to do a
You have to do a
warrant,
voucher.
a voucher
do a voucher.
made
Petty
out to
cash.
the library
And
for
No, you make it-
$100.
make it out to Amy.
to Amy?
For
I mean, the library
$100
can't
for
cash
petty
a check.
cash.
Library
Right.
can't walk into a bank and say,
No, the library has no.
you have to
So-
have made out to a person.
So Denise would know how to do it. If she's saying that we can do
To
it.
get the
then she-
initial
she's
money.
gonna
Right, right,
know
and
how to do it.
and then I'm wondering, how is it replenished?
So then you
So
would
then you
say,
would-
Then you
here's
have the
$75.
vouchers, you have the
Right.
receipts.
Okay, we have to have
Yeah.
one person talk at
Yeah,
a time
sorry.
because we have, so Amy, you had the floor on,
Well,
and
so,
then how do you get it replenished?
so pretend you have a box with your $100 in it. You pay out, you keep the receipts. When your thing is almost empty, when your box is empty, you submit your receipts and get
some money
another
back.
$100.
Okay.
That's the easy.
It's
But
a
I- but-
rotating thing.
I would probably watch when it got to 75, for instance,
Yeah,
because you
right.
have that 2-week process. So
Right, that's gonna
give
take you
yourself
to
a
get
little
your
bit of a
$100
buffer and
back.
say, all right, here's $75 worth of
So-
receipts.
I vote that Amy, I recommend that Amy, look into with Denise how that would happen, so the check would be written to who. And my recommendation would be that it be $100 in petty cash as opposed to 50.
Yeah.
And that, when you're at 75-ish for receipts, put in for reimbursement to refund.
Yeah, and I think
To
the
reimburse
first one is
that
gonna be
petty
the
cash.
only
Yeah.
glitchy one, 'cause
Yeah.
it's gotta be made out to a person.
But
Right,
it's
Without
gonna have to
a
be,
receipt.
it's gonna have to be made out to a person every time, cause
Yeah.
when Amy puts in the $75 worth,
But she'll have receipts.
right, she'll
Yeah.
have receipts,
So
The
it'd be
first
like she
time, we
was.
don't have receipts.
Right.
That's,
but that,
how do we get around that little
Yeah.
piece?
okay, and then we'll vote on it at the next meeting.
Yeah.
But you will have receipts at the final time
But
of
that
doing a
means
petty
you'll-
cash, you'll have
But
an
that should
after
be
the
going
fact
on in-
receipt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
so
know.
Yeah.
I have another question, that's gonna leave them in the lurch for another month. Amy and staff, so is it possible that we vote in a, if this happens in this way, it will be okay with us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in
Okay.
other
So that
words,
way
she can
she
just act
talks
on
to
it.
she
the-
can, we
So
can,
This
we
could
vote
happen
now, she gets
tomorrow
it set up
instead
with
of
Denise.
next month at our vote, at
Oh,
our
okay.
meeting.
If you
So-
talk to Denise in the next 3 days and she says, yeah, this is how we're gonna do it, we're gonna give you approval, fine, go
Okay.
ahead.
And if it's
Alright.
different, you'll bring it back.
Yeah.
So may I have what is the word?
Motion.
Motion for setting up a petty cash fund for Amy, the director of the library, to be in charge of for $100 funded from the donation account and continually reimbursed with receipts ongoing
I will make that motion.
For unexpected costs.
for unexpected
costs.
costs.
Yeah.
Anything that can be
planned.
ordered in advance
Right.
will be ordered in advance, yep.
Like plungers for the bathroom. Um, may,
I make a second, I'll second the motion.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Abstaining? Thank you.
Did you have vouchers for us to sign while we're?
Yeah, so,
I do have one more
Okay.
for mileage for, it's right here.
so I thought that was a,
That's a
looked like
reimbursement
timesheet.
form.
I'm
Oh,
sorry,
it
what?
It looked like a timesheet, so I, okay.
No, it's
It
an
is
employee
expense
expense form.
Right, so the voucher needs to be done on top of that.
See, there's too much paperwork in this one.
Yeah, so there needs to be a voucher copy. Sorry.
This is like your receipt.
And then on the vouchers, if
Yeah.
we just email when they're ready, and then everybody, people come in,
Right,
and
it's just that if I had been able to get this in like now, she would have gotten paid, now she's gonna wait another 2 weeks.
Go get a voucher copy and we will sign it because we know what it says. You'll just fill out the information.
Or you can do it on the computer before we leave, it will only take a second.
Yeah, to spit it out.
You mean I can just handwrite it and then I'd have to copy it, just like forget it, I'll do it later. I'll give her $7.50 and then you guys can reimburse me later.
That would have come from petty cash?
Yeah, see,
No.
that's the
Oh,
kind
no,
of thing.
that's
But
a
no,
mileage.
mileage
No,
wouldn't
no,
come
no,
from
mileage.
petty
Oh,
cash.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
It wouldn't.
No,
That's
No.
right, in my.
that's an expense.
And if I hadn't been new, I would have known like
Well-
how to handle this, you know, and it would have gone through, but because I didn't know, like,
we probably
you know.
won't be too much.
Huh?
You
We
won't be.
won't be too.
So call
You're-
me,
You're so quick learner, it will never
are.
happen again.
We'll be fine.
call me anytime those kind of questions, cause those were the vouchers I was doing before
Right.
you came,
Yeah.
so I might be able to help.
But literally, 5 of us can stay for the 2 minutes it's gonna take to fill this out at the
Yeah,
end.
it's not
And
gonna
this could
take
be
long.
submitted tomorrow.
Right.
I have to figure out what voucher number it is and everything.
That's okay, we can do
I
it.
can help with
Laura's
that.
here.
Okay,
Um,
good. All right, good.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. Excellent. All right.
so thank you for,
Minutes.
working
Posting
those
minutes.
We haven't
those
finished
big
her
two, I know, I
thing.
was just saying, working those two big things out, donation account and pay fund. We're getting much better processes, thank you.
Yeah, we need to get,
Posting of
I mean, I don't
minutes.
get to spend much time in the library. I'm working on all these little details. I'm like, I wanna be out in the library meeting people and doing stuff, you know? So, anyway,
So what's the review of
Posting minutes.
posting
What
minutes?
about minutes? Yeah.
well, I just thought, like, you guys, so that we make sure the right person gets the minutes and blah, blah, blah.
The secretary, who in this case is Carlos, he forwards them to the
Okay.
right.
And now we realize that, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, that we have to send them to Denise. We were sending them to the secretary that retired,
Okay,
so.
And the ones we thought were going to Ann weren't. So anyway,
Oh, right.
so
We
that's
are-
all straightened out.
and after the election, we will elect new officers and new officers. So hopefully there'll be
Okay,
the transition will also happen smoothly.
okay.
So you're gonna post them in the library though, right?
But do you want them posted on the library webpage?
No.
That's a line on
There's
there.
a trustees link on the library's webpage, so they should go there, I would think.
I think they should link to the town's copy of
Yeah.
on the
Okay.
library.
Yeah.
So but that doesn't exist right now, so on our page, we should say 4 minutes and agenda, see the town.
Right.
But
Or,
on the library page with the trustees link, you can see minutes now. They're
Okay.
old, but they're there. So you used to post them on the library website.
Or somebody did.
Somebody did.
I think it,
Erratically.
Or maybe it linked to the
I think
town.
it links to the town.
Okay,
I
that's
think,
probably what it
I'll have
is.
to double check the link, but I think it links to the
Yeah.
town, last time we.
But so the thing is do you want it on the library website? It would make sense to have it on the library website. You know, and then it
Yeah.
links to the town.
Yeah.
So there's just one
Yeah.
copy out there in the
either.
ether,
And
but
we have been sending everything to Denise
Yeah.
now, so they should all be getting updated as she
Okay.
has the moments to
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
put it up there.
They've all been sent to town hall ongoing. It's not that they're
No,
No,
and then
posted, right.
we resent them all last week.
Good.
For the
There's
last
Yeah.
not any
year or
paper
so.
copies
there
either.
was a barrage.
There was a lot of email.
All right. When
We had them, they just.
we
and
we
they
had
were
them and
sent.
we've been sending them.
we've been
Yes.
sending them. They just weren't getting posted.
cleanup.
So,
Hmm.
the library needs to be cleaned up. We need to like freshen it up, change it up. We just need to like, get rid of this institutional green and paint and, make it like different. So I asked Denise, like, how could we get the library painted? And she said, well, you could get the prisoners to paint it, but.
And all we have to do is
And
feed
the
them lunch.
town, yeah,
Yes.
and the town
Yeah.
would pay for the paint, and we
Right.
just have to feed them lunch.
And they did a very good job, what I'm told, at the fire station a few months ago.
I think they've done
I think we
VC.
should go and like really
Look.
check it out.
Let's take a field trip.
So,
And I think
you know.
VC as well has used them
Yeah.
for yard cleaning.
Would they do
have,
this at
and,
the,
They have.
during library hours?
No, we would
No.
have to close the library, so you have to be planned out, you close the library,
I'm just thinking Corey's.
I know.
Can they
We
do
have
it on a
school-
Sunday?
kids
Probably
programs
not,
here.
huh?
Well, she said it took them a week to paint the two firehouse
But they're
buildings.
huge though, I mean,
They're huge,
oh, there was a lot of,
but you do have to be careful in the library, so,
Right, if we
They've
did,
had
we did
things will have
one
to be
area at a
moved.
time, or,
Yeah.
yeah.
no, the
Focused
fire
on one.
station had to be scrubbed down and then
yeah,
Painted.
that's probably true.
So did they scrub it too?
I brought over, I donated a lot of cleaning, industrial cleaning.
No, but did the firehouse people clean
I
it
think
or
the
did
firehouse people and the
Sheriff's
inmates
Department?
did it as well, and,
Well, we can ask, we can get
actually,
an
what
estimate,
happened
you know.
was, the fire chief sent out, I think he put it on the town crier and I don't know what other sites, asking for different townspeople to please donate. They were gonna be there those days, he said, and would somebody please donate lunch, would somebody donate
Yeah.
snacks? And everybody did, by the
Yeah,
time I
cool.
got to donate,
Great.
it was just one
Uh-huh.
day's worth of snacks they
That's
were
great.
thrilled, they were out having a cigarette break when I pulled up with the bakery boxes.
I think it'd be wonderful, I mean, especially if we could plan it on a Saturday afternoon into a Sunday, where it'd be
Yeah.
almost 2 days. By Monday afternoon, when we open at 1 o'clock, it's dry,
Right.
and then we go on to the next room, the
Yes, we
following
wouldn't
weekend.
have
So
to
maybe
really-
it takes 2
Well, I
weekends
think
or
it would-
3 weekends to do the whole entire library, but maybe that's
Maybe.
something that we could.
Yeah.
But they would know.
Right.
So if we ask them
Yeah.
for, you know, like,
But I'll be talking to Bob this week anyway, I'd be glad to ask him if he was,
Why don't you
Yes,
ask
it's
Bob to
a job.
call
Who's Bob?
Bob Lay.
Bob
is
Lay
the
is the fire chief.
fire chief.
oh, okay.
So, or
Yeah.
what do you have Bob's number? Why doesn't Amy just call Bob?
Yeah, those two should really
I
talk.
don't have his phone number
Okay.
with me.
That's
Well, I'm
okay,
sure it's
I'll
on
find
the
him.
town
Yeah, she can
website.
get it.
It's
Yeah.
on Georgia Street.
Yes, one
I'll just
Georgia
go over
Street.
to the firehouse.
He's
Or
not
two.
there. It only
He's
works
not-
19
Oh,
hours.
actually, he's there, every Monday and Tuesday
Monday,
afternoon.
Okay.
She
Yeah.
can be
Maybe
best
I'll
friends
see you
with
tomorrow.
anyone if they think he's a jerk.
Let's see if we-
And
You do know the,
No.
Barbara,
Yes, and that's fine.
I'm
Totally
just,
fine.
I'm just
I'm
telling you,
totally
I
fine.
think it's inappropriate, that's all I'm saying.
is there a critical need?
There is,
no.
not is
I
there.
wanted to go back to the website, Tony and
Oh,
Carlos.
okay. So yeah, so
Oh.
Carlos and Tony came in last Saturday, and they're a great team, actually.
They are a great team.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
fabulous.
Amazing.
I told them, I
Yeah.
said, you guys are a great team. So they said, so Carlos is they're both of them, I guess, are gonna work, they're gonna copy our website, then they're gonna update the website because it's a really old version. And then we need to remake the website because
Yeah.
it's really not very good. So the way I finally got into that site was I called the person who did it. And she was very nice, but I really got a lot of information from her, which was really nice of her. So that's how I finally figured out she gave me the passwords and stuff.
Good.
So the step one though is to, Carlos and Tony were gonna copy the website, then they're gonna upgrade it, then they were said, so then you can test it out and see if it works, and then we can, so anyway, it's sort of like something that we're just starting.
And thankfully, it's WordPress, so it's not that hard to
Yeah.
do all of that, which is
That's great.
good.
So anyway, they were great, and I told them I would nag them, and they said that's okay.
So Tony is heading the bake sale for the books.
Okay.
That day.
Okay.
So that's another thing.
Oh, have
she
we
does,
put
and
out-
Carlos is the secretary.
She's in charge.
Yeah, have we
Right.
put out, on the library website, I haven't even looked, a request for baked goods for that bake sale?
Probably not.
It is. I mean, it's on. It hasn't changed since it says "Welcome to Amy" and that the
Yeah, the staff
it's upcoming. The open house, bake sale, book sale. I don't think it has
Yeah,
silent
well, now that I
auction.
have the information, I can get in there and make some changes.
Yeah,
But I just got
so-
all this Friday.
So one of the other things I was thinking of is that on Facebook, you could also do the same thing,
Yeah.
you know, like,
Well, the thing is, it's
Ba-
like when you,
Yeah.
we're gonna set it up so that when you update the
Right.
website, it automatically updates Facebook.
That's
Right.
perfect.
and, you know, with the different sponsors for the silent auction,
Yeah.
you know,
Perfect.
just a little teaser.
So we can make a
this
whole
is one
page
of
or a
three,
link about
yeah.
the book sale.
Yeah.
But I'm good at that, actually. You know,
Yay.
I can code and all that
Yes.
stuff,
So now we're on policies.
so. Alright,
Yes.
so we really need to, update the policy.
So I gave Amy a copy of the book I got from you, Barbara, and
Well, that book should be back here too, I put the book back in the office.
we couldn't find it.
Yeah, I couldn't find it, and I couldn't find the book that was for the preservation grant
Yeah,
either.
that was
Another
thorough, that
binder
took a long
missing.
time.
So there were
Yeah.
two
Did you find
binders
it?
that were supposed to be here that weren't, I mean, Diana and I turned the place upside down
Yeah,
looking for it.
We went
I
by
even
my,
had-
because I had a copy of it because of the community preservation, but
Yeah.
we only
And-
had one.
And Jen had a copy of the policies from
Right.
when she borrowed it from
Right.
you.
Right,
But I brought the, oh,
It was
good.
so
Yeah, so
frustrating
I
'cause
gave, I
kept
gave
thinking-
everything to Amy, and I have everything as a Google Doc right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just,
Good.
Does everybody have a Google Doc account?
No.
It's free. So,
And I don't
So,
want one,
okay.
I'm sorry.
and you
But
don't
that
have,
is-
I can,
enough
if I
stuff.
share
Yeah.
with you, you can go right into it. You don't have to have your own
she said
account.
she had
Yeah,
to,
something you sent
register.
recently.
Yeah, no, it just tell me and I'll read. If
I clicked on it and it wanted my email and
Yeah,
my
no,
account and
if-
then
if- just tell me and I'll redo it. I just sometimes click on the wrong link.
Oh.
You don't have to always, there's so many options, so
Okay.
just tell me if
Because
you can't
sometimes
open
it's a
something
good way
that I
to
send
share
you.
them, especially for this large volume of documents.
Yeah.
yeah.
I still have all the policy updates that Kim was working on. I still have those in the computer.
Oh, great. If that would be something, if you could share those with Amy so they don't have to be typed from
But we
start to
have- but
finish.
we haven't, we
Vetted
had
them.
done a couple
We
of
were supposed to be
them, right,
working and
we
then
have
everything's been put on hold.
Everything's
Right.
put on.
Yeah,
And we also now know that, you know, if two people were meeting, it's a subcommittee, so then you have to post the meeting, so.
Right.
So one of my recommendations
We
was
never
to-
even met.
I know, well,
So
with,
it's-
with
yeah.
Amy was to say, ask for one person, one trustee to help. And that way,
Okay.
we follow directions well, so if you say type this up, we'll type that up, you know. Or, you know, if you want that help,
Yeah.
it is, you know, we end up having to vote on the policies,
Yeah.
so,
But we'll take your recommendations. And,
yeah.
right.
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I do have some, but, you know, like, we really need our collection development and our collection criteria
Right.
and a challenge form. I mean, we just
What's a
need that.
challenge?
Well, if somebody comes into the library and says, I don't like this book,
Oh, I see.
Well, we did have,
We do
That's
have
something,
that.
yeah.
well, it's pretty out of date.
is it? Yeah.
But-
And we also
well,
need a
I mean,
disaster
I think
plan.
we-
the ones that
voted-
have,
Fairly recently, since we've been
Yeah.
Oh,
on, not 1994.
yeah.
But some of them are dated 94.
Yeah,
Right.
I've got like
Frightening.
6 or 7 of these that Kim had started.
Right, and I think
I
we've
killed a mosquito
actually.
the
I know
other
this-
day.
So I will email them to you.
Okay.
And they're,
Great.
they're still drafts, we haven't actually voted on them, but that's,
okay, that's good.
yeah.
So then I can
It's
review
not a
them and
mosquito.
then check them
No,
against
just a
a
piece of
couple
fuzz.
sources.
No, there's a
Okay.
bunch
No,
of
this-
fuzz flying
that
around.
is
Some-
good.
some
It's a
ones.
piece of fuzz.
Okay.
Wait,
Former
so-
trustees of things, yeah.
Okay, excellent. Jinx. So
Okay.
Barbara, by default, you are, if, do you want to be her helper?
Sure.
Cool.
All
Well,
right,
you've got it all on your computer.
Yeah, I can email those right to her,
Mhm.
yeah.
excellent,
That's
thank
good, and we
you.
could just email back and forth Word documents, you know. or whatever.
Statistical reporting from monthly to quarterly,
Yeah, all these like little numbers that you guys look at every month.
I'm cool with that.
I
Anybody
mean, I
have-
don't even look at those numbers every month. It's a blur. So if you look at them quarterly, then you can like see, you know, you can actually look at them. Instead of only looking at 4 sets of numbers instead of 12, and just makes a lot more sense. So I would like to be able to do that. Besides, it just takes an enormous amount, because I'm getting information from so many different sources that it just is a lot of information.
I make a motion that we get that reporting quarterly. I see little things.
Is that motionable? Is that something we have to make a motion
I
on?
don't know.
No, I think we just agree though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Agree, yeah,
Yeah.
consensus, yeah.
Nobody has a, excellent, we're all behind you on that.
And then I just wanted to let you know, we're doing a biannual ILL count for the MBLC this week. So usually what libraries do is they do like a twice a year sampling for a week. So they'll, you, instead of like taking all this information, well now it's automated, so it's not so much, but you will do like a sample of
Reference
where you
questions.
really pay attention to who walks in your door, like child, adult, whatever, instead of just like the numbers of people. So you do a sampling twice a year for a week.
Well, that's
So we might, and that's what the MBLC is doing.
This week.
So in the future we should probably do that at some point.
That's a good idea.
And usually they pick a summer month and a winter month. It's usually fall and summer or something like that. And all the libraries do it at the same time, so I'll figure out
That's
what their
great.
schedule is down here.
Cause
May I ask what ILL stands for?
Interlibrary loan.
which is
I
what
should've wrote
you
that
get
in
that
there.
when you get the books from other places.
Right.
Now, when you do this, did you literally have a staff person paying attention to
Yeah,
adult?
we have a desk person paying attention. But see, we need to have a desk person paying attention anyway, so
Yeah.
that would be a good way to get them to pay.
Right.
So the other thing that I noticed that we did for a long time is reference questions. So it's the same thing. You usually do that
A sample.
sampling, not all the time, because what happens is that if you do it all the time, you're not remembering to take the accurate. If you have the 2 months when you're on,
Right.
you're remembering all of these pieces of data, and it's sort of a different
Yeah,
flow
and then
to
you
your
can also,
month, your
I'm
week.
sorry. Right.
So
And then you can also really like delineate like what is a reference question.
Right.
So some people will say that, asking where the restroom is a reference question. So that's something that's debatable.
We're just telling us over town hall.
Anyway, so that's something to consider in the future.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is, it's like I said, I'd like to respectfully ask all of you trustees to consider yourselves patrons when you're in the library. And if you need some information, please try to get it directly from me, because I'm trying to get this direct line of communication. I think it will be really important to just sort of creating a organized, positive, move forward. Cause I get the feeling that some of the staff people are not real comfortable with having the trustees in the building. I don't know. I'm sort of like, I wasn't there, I don't, I'm just like, I'm right here and I'm going forward, that's all I can say.
But they have to understand that we have care, custody, and control of this
That's
building and
right, right.
everything in it.
Right.
So
And
we
that
have every
stands.
opportunity and every reason to be in here at any time of day,
Right.
and we've explained that to them.
But you
Yeah,
should be the
so-
line, we've muddied that line of communication.
We have,
because
yes.
we haven't
Oh,
had
yeah.
a director,
Right.
and then that whole line has just gone
Yeah, and like
in
you
many
guys
different
told me.
directions, and you're right, you are the director.
And we have said for straight up,
Yeah,
woohoo,
And when I
we're
said I'm
done.
really
We are done. But however, this building
no,
and the contents in it
Exactly.
Yeah.
are our responsibility.
but it should be your
How
responsibility.
can I say
to
it
the
without-
director.
Yes.
That's not the
Yes.
impression there's a little play there, a little play.
But we should be going through the
And-
director,
oh,
we have
definitely,
we
we
have no
will.
right
I've
to
been
be
saying
going
that
up to
from
staff
day one.
and saying anything or
No,
asking
no,
questions or
no,
any of that.
no.
Yeah, because
We
then
would be
who
going to
knows
the
if you're
director.
getting the right answer? I mean,
Absolutely.
believe me, it takes me forever sometimes to figure out the simplest thing,
Oh,
because I'm asking people and I get 5 different
I
answers.
know.
And nor should staff, the staff had been coming to us,
Right,
again,
yeah.
because of our muddy
I-
line, and
exactly.
staff should not be coming to us.
Right.
In my experience so far, since Amy has come, I haven't fielded any
Nope, nor
No,
have I.
question
I have not.
or even had to stop any
No.
conversation.
Nope.
So
Neither.
that's been
Not
helpful.
at all.
I definitely have come in and asked when you're not here a couple times. Asked for the keys for the shed because
Well,
I don't have keys
no,
for the shed.
that's different, but
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know what it is, to be totally honest,
Yeah.
I just.
And I do walk through the back because of the weather, but through the back door to the shed.
Yeah, but that is something
Or,
they need to
and
understand.
or
that
carrying things.
Yeah.
the
Um,
trustees have.
Like I said, I don't really know what the,
Yeah, and I also ask, is there
No
anything
one
that you
does.
want me to bring to the
Details
shed
on
while
play.
I'm going?
I think also everybody needs to understand, and I think not only trustees and I think trustees, staff and director, all need to understand that the past is the past. And
Yeah.
we have a new director in place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything
And
is
some
starting
new
from this
staff.
point forward, everything is fresh.
that's what
And
I'm trying to.
anything that, whatever
That's why
is
we need to be,
done.
so then it'll really look
It'll
fresh.
feel different.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right, it is the new line, we had them separate.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
we
there's
have
nothing wrong
talked,
with,
Barbara and I have talked about coming in and hemming the curtains, but we just haven't gotten here.
yeah, well, with they, who knows?
Yeah, something,
Yeah, well, they need it when they do the movies, cause they're blackouts.
Yeah.
yeah.
Good.
So I
So,
think,
like I
I think
said,
we're
I
all on
am-
board with doing that and, helping that, maintain that line. Of, order of operations,
Chain of command.
chain of
Absolutely.
command,
Yeah.
that's the phrase, chain of
I
command.
kept trying to figure that out too, I was like, what is it?
And we've been saying that from the beginning, but as Jen said a couple of times.
Those are my favorite words.
Yes.
Yeah. Care,
An
custody.
obligation.
No, I understand, I totally understand, but again, I think that the chain or the line of communication, the chain of command, there are really specific, duties of the trustees, and there are very specific duties of the, director, and we need to just sort of work that out, I guess.
Absolutely.
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 And do please
I
tell
mean,
us
I'm
if you
totally
find
fine.
out what it is that they think we're doing,
Or that crosses the line.
or that crosses on, because
Right,
there is.
It might be something we could stop.
Yeah, because we also, is it here?
I
No,
just kinda get like.
That was one of the reasons why we started with the, redoing the
Policies.
bylaws.
Oh.
Was, roles and responsibilities.
I think the biggest key that has to be acknowledged by everybody is the past is the past.
Yes, no, I
mean,
totally
think
agree with that.
That
We
is
are
the biggest
beyond
key.
that.
We're
We
beyond
are-
that. And,
We're not,
and it may
guys.
not be
Like,
that
not
everybody
everybody
is
is.
beyond that,
Well,
and I
the-
think that's the key point.
And actually, you know what, that's a good question. Is there especially, hopefully you'll have a youth librarian soon, is that have, there is money for staff development for, an off-site or a bonding experience, even if it's off-site at VZ Park or off-site at another town building, so it's not incurring a lot of money, but where you do, I know
Right.
you were looking at job responsibilities and new,
Right,
new job descriptions and stuff, and
Before.
don't forget you have that, available to you also.
okay.
And even
We
a staff
talked
staff
about that.
meeting too, as well. I mean,
Yeah.
I was at Merrimack the other day. There was a sign on the door saying they're closed for 2 hours on an upcoming day to have a staff meeting.
Really? I don't really wanna do that.
Right? No, nor do I. I'm just
Off time.
saying. Well, no, but they can't do it on off. You
Yeah,
have
I
to pay them on
I know.
off time.
Yeah.
That
Right.
needs to be done during library
Well,
hours,
yeah,
even if
that's
it's
true.
1 hour on a Monday or a
Right.
Wednesday or something like that.
It
that-
was,
Or
it used to
Friday,
be done, one
whatever.
director did it, she used to have a breakfast meeting.
Right, but
But
it just
everybody-
includes
but the problem with the part-time people is like, they don't
Exactly.
all
Yeah.
work on
Right.
the same
Exactly.
day.
Or somebody has
and-
another job, or.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it is hard to get
It is.
everybody together, I figured that out pretty fast, but.
And especially if they don't live right in the area like that.
Well, yeah, and people are busy, and they're not gonna just come here for
Right.
an
But-
hour staff meeting.
If it's
If you feed
mandatory,
me-
they are.
And they're getting paid.
And they're getting paid.
They're getting
That's what they
paid.
used to do, the breakfast thing.
But it's still, like, if they
Again,
have to
if they
come here
can.
from their, so if they're driving for a half an hour, 40 minutes to get here.
Right, but
Getting
if I
paid
have
for
a
an hour.
mandatory meeting,
Yeah, they.
I
you know
go
what,
to a
you're
mandatory
professional, you
meeting.
get paid
Right.
as a professional, and a lot, these
Yeah.
people are hourly,
Yeah.
and they don't
Right.
get paid very much, so I think it's an unreasonable,
I think we
thing
had,
to ask.
yeah, one director who did a wonderful, she had a house up north.
Wow,
I'm done.
it's different, I would do it, but,
Unrealistic expectation was a nice phrase to learn.
yeah,
But she had a home up north and she arranged for
Not
the
my
staff to all
vocabulary.
go on a Saturday after the library closed. They stayed overnight, went out to dinner, I think we
Yeah.
all pitched in.
No, see, I think that would be a great thing
Gave
to
them a
do.
gift certificate to the restaurant that they wanted to go to, and they came on Sunday night. It was wonderful, she was fantastic.
But no, if you do like a little retreat
Right,
and
that's
something
about basically
interesting,
what it was,
yeah.
yeah.
definitely.
VZ,
nice-
VZ Park is pretty.
Well, after I move from my house, then we'll have that house. because
Okay.
It used to be a party house and it's on a pond, so we can go swimming and
There you
just,
go.
you know, hang out.
Oh, we're
We're
talking about
naked if you
Johnson
want.
Pond's little stand.
You're talking about her
Um,
Still my house, but that's, will be my old house one of these days.
So warrants, do you have a collection of warrants to report out on?
I do.
So,
Fabulous report.
yes, thank you.
All right, so since it's only 2 weeks, we don't have very many warrants. So I did 2 deposits and 1 warrant.
So this is the way we do it. So this, we had one more, Ingram 37 invoices for $882.74. A reimburse, say?
Crazy.
Yeah, I know. Reimbursement for Amy for supplies and software program for $142.95. The Eagle Tribune north of Boston edition for, I think that was 2 years?
1 year.
1 year, $266.75, and that whole warrant was $1,292.44.
Can we just, I'm sorry, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm more visual. Can we just look at them?
No,
rather
you
than
have to
reading
report
them?
it out verbally,
You do.
but you can
You can
pass
also
it
pass it
around. And the reason why we do it is because at the moment, we are only requiring 5 signatures, and it could end up being the same 5 people all the time,
Yeah,
and
so
then
everybody
the
gets to
4
see
people
them.
don't know what's
Okay.
really gotten signed. So,
Yeah, so it's
and
good to pass it around.
And
Yeah,
if
the
we
trustees
end
should
up
see it.
voting that Amy has the signature, then we would really need to know the details and pass them around. So this warrant was 1 reimbursement for a program, Neil Sanders, $125. Total warrant was $125.
Right.
And this one is the deposit for the $404.99 between replacement of library cards, book cart sales, printing, fines, lost books, donation and sales of history books, all delineated. There you go.
$404.99.
Excellent. So the next thing on the report, sorry.
This is the other one deposited.
Okay, and that $700 deposit for
It was for the-
community. It was
Here
for
it says right here.
it was for a program, but it was
Global Council.
council.
Cultural council.
Cultural council. And it paid for the program of discover and create herbs and flowers, $700. Thank you.
We don't need to initial or anything that it's going around at the meeting or anything, right? Okay.
So, since you're looking at that, Lori, I'm gonna go to annual appeal. So, Kathy, do you know whether they've decided whether it was legal to have
I
it or not?
think I'm gonna say that I think that it's just not a good idea. I withdraw my idea to include the annual appeal letter in the tax bill.
Okay, cause
I second that motion.
we were all thinking about it.
For many
Okay.
reasons,
So
most of
we'll-
which are not ours to
Okay,
enforce, so.
thank you for, we'll remove that from the agenda.
Can I ask one question? The presentation on April 27th. Town meeting night?
Town meeting night.
Town
You
meeting
wanna
night.
be doing a presentation on
Actually,
town meeting night?
Too
Yeah.
late, the guy's already probably been hired.
There's a program on town meeting night?
Yeah.
Not a good plan.
Whoa, that's a very bad thing.
Gardening is murder,
She doesn't live here.
April 27th. But we haven't
I know.
We haven't coordinated that kind of stuff, and Amy wasn't
Yeah.
here prior to this
Yeah,
being
and Diana's
done.
not a
She didn't know
resident.
when
Right.
town
Yeah.
meeting was.
Yeah.
It's
I think maybe we
When's town
really need
meeting?
to reschedule them.
I don't know whether she can,
I
but
don't know, he's been here
Okay.
before, that author's been here before, I don't know what place he is, so.
Personally, I think it's.
I would like to
Where'd
go
you
to it,
see
frankly, but
Yeah, I think it's really wrong to
It
do
is.
that, and it's always in April or May. And
It's always the
Always
last Monday.
the last Monday of April.
so.
Town
um,
election is the first Monday
Yeah.
in May.
And the first, yeah,
So I need to make a note.
Let me just go grab a schedule, I'll be right back.
okay.
Thanks for catching that.
So where did you see
Only-
that, Lori?
well, only
on Disney.
because
Neil-
I
Neil's
just
reimbursement.
had checked in at town hall. And so I just reconfirmed what the
Yeah.
date was, so
What
it
the
was
date?
fresh in my mind,
And,
April 27th.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's the
Actually, I was gonna-
last Monday, I don't know what number.
I only just
I was gonna-
confirmed it now.
Also say that on the 27th is town meeting, we should all be there if at all possible, cause our warrant will be up, and the 29th is for candidates night. So, in town hall, so if we can, anybody that's running, okay, I'll represent you.
Yes, did you get the letter in the mail?
Yes, it did.
Okay, I did too, I need to respond.
And then the vote is the first Monday,
May 4th, I think.
May
it is.
4th.
So it's okay to have a program on May
That's the
fourth,
one
because
they got
people can
in.
choose
Rotate.
what time they
Well,
want
they
to
can
vote.
and come.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And Beth, I'll also
That's
let,
sorry.
because I got the invitation from the legal, I'm gonna let her know and why I can't be there,
Yeah.
because I feel bad, but.
Okay, so I need to get that deposit warrant back, the one that was for $700, okay. Just wanna make sure.
They're coming.
You're
I know.
You can look, I just was making
They're all
sure.
coming around here.
Here it is.
I know how many went around, get ready for get them all back.
The other-
So the one thing that I was gonna say about
These
the
are the
book
two I
sale
read.
is, Lisa found, Lisa Bay found a, place to sell our books that don't get sold. So we wrap them up,
Sell them? Cool.
we, well, and they come and pick them up, so we put them on pallets, they come and pick them up, and then we profit share with them. So we get 50% and they take 50%.
Cool.
We need somebody to be,
You mean they sell it,
then they sell, like they say, it's usually within 6 to 8 months, and then they usually donate them, so, but whatever's not sold, they will sell, and we get 50% of the profit, so it's a profit share. I will need to have Denise work on the, that contract, because trustees aren't allowed to have a contract, so she will make a contract with them to accept the money. What are you thinking?
I thought that this book sale was being run by Lisa.
Yeah,
Well, it
So
is,
wouldn't
but
she
we,
get the money and then make a donation to the library?
that's what I would think.
That's what I would think.
Or is it library property? Is that the issue, that the books are library property?
Well, who knows if
No,
they
because
are.
they've been donated.
But
Some-
they're donated to the
some.
library.
And some
I'm not-
are,
I'm
some are
not
pulled from the
sure-
shelves,
I'm
don't
not
forget.
sure we would be
Yeah,
able
with the
to,
accessory.
Well,
have
then
a,
that calls into
Cause
question the entire proceeds from the book sale.
Yeah, exactly.
But you, I mean, you know, it's common practice that you weed collections.
Oh, yes.
So,
so you either throw them away or you resell
and
them.
usually you weed the collection, you give it to the friends group, they sell them and
Right.
give you the money.
Exactly.
So in lieu of having a friends group, I believe for this very one time, we've allowed to, or maybe sort of kind of have been given permission to have the book sale. It's run by volunteers, and then those volunteers, one person that's running the book sale, makes a donation into the donation account, the one that we have now,
Yes.
and it's for the benefit of the library. I
Yes.
think that's what.
Yes, that's how the
Town hall has
payment
agreed.
has agreed to, yes.
I'm not sure that, I will ask them, but I'm not sure that this contract would
Fall
be
under
able
that.
to be with a person versus with a town.
And I have one other question on that, is that if people make out checks, if you're going to a library book sale and I tell you to make it out to Lisa Dubé Carpenter,
Yeah,
Well, she's
And
the
we-
one that's gonna make the donation.
Yeah, but we always
no.
have the checks made out to the
Library.
Adams
Library.
Library, and then we also accept credit cards.
We do.
Oh, but that's in an individual's name, that's not in the library's name.
Goes into
Our
a
PayPal
PayPal
account.
account at TD Bank North.
Oh, okay.
Did you get that? You need to get your name onto the PayPal account.
So we have a PayPal.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's some paper, we looked at that
Oh,
paperwork
sorry.
that was on your desk about the PayPal account. It's in the
All
former director's name.
Yeah, and the TD Bank is just right down the street, so you'll be
Right.
able to go in and sign anything you needed to.
But somebody would have to like say that I'm a
Yeah.
signatory.
That's true.
Yeah.
Who's the
Name is
And
signature?
she'll
on
just
there
go in
now.
there and do it.
Kathy, is yours on it? The TD Bank?
It was Greg LeBrac.
But
And
didn't we bring
Natalie.
Denise? Didn't we bring Denise in?
I don't, no, I don't believe so. I could be wrong. It was the former finance director.
And the former director.
Actually, it was the former finance director myself who went and opened it together.
Mm-hmm. So you would be the,
I don't believe I'm on it
Custodian.
anymore.
Yeah, no.
I can't remember, I
Yeah.
think it changed when Natalie.
let's hope it's not
Yeah,
the past
previous
director and
director.
nobody else.
No,
I
it wouldn't
think
be.
it's her and the past finance
Yeah.
director.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
Double
two
jeopardy.
tax. So,
Um,
did we get a TD Bank statement? No, we
No, they
got-
don't
we
send
got
us
I
some-
don't get.
No,
TD
when
Bank.
it goes into PayPal, it stays into PayPal
Right.
until you direct it to go to the bank.
Exactly.
So the money's still hanging in PayPal, I believe.
I don't believe there's any money in it now, but that's how
There,
it would be
there
set up.
is,
Oh, there is?
there is,
doesn't
How
something
much?
something,
keep like $10 in it to keep it alive?
Something,
$10
no,
to
something,
keep it on.
something
No,
went
that's
to
in
a
the
former
bank.
director.
that's in the bank. PayPal will hold as much
No.
money
Saying that there was money in
As-
PayPal.
comes in.
You guys are too many accounts.
Oh, wow, this is like.
Well, that was opened up because they wanted to have credit
Online
cards.
sales.
Yeah, no,
Right.
that's good, cause.
And online donations for the
Sometimes-
annual appeal.
Exactly, that was.
Right.
Yeah, that was the
That was the
original,
main
the
reason.
original
Well,
was.
it's a
That
good
was
thing,
the
so let's just
reason
get
it
it
was
nailed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I'll
Yeah.
see if I can find that information.
Yeah, that was that was the reason it was open, was for the.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that is the question. So
I mean, we
if
could
you-
put a note and say.
No, I think we should leave it as pay to library. Your payment is a donation to, so that's why they're able to write Groveland Library.
Yes, because Denise says you're allowed, and other trustees say you're allowed to have a donation account.
Right, so you can, everybody will write it to library, this is your donation, this.
Right, so the cash and the credit card come from Lisa, the
Yeah.
checks are
Checks,
coming from each
each
individual
individual,
person
okay.
that writes them.
Right.
Right,
That's their
because,
donation.
so then what will happen is that, you know, I don't know if it's gonna happen now, but starting July 1st, it will definitely happen. The selectmen will then have to accept the donation.
Right,
So we'll go and we'll
it'll just
say,
be paperwork,
Yeah.
I'm sure,
Right.
I'm sure we don't even
We don't have
go,
to show up, yeah.
they'll just
Right.
be
Denise
a
will
piece
do
of
it.
paper,
Yeah.
a piece of paper
Or
like,
whoever the administrative.
That's-
so you might wanna
Yeah.
do it, some people do it like quarterly, some people, you know, you don't do it like a million times.
Can I
Right.
ask a question about, these have to be shrink wrapped and on pallets, right?
Yeah.
And do we have a donation of the shrink wrap and?
not yet, but I have talked to 2 people. Get
Excellent,
it donated,
excellent.
and it's market basket kind of shrimp wrap, not the
Excellent.
boat shrimp.
Just plastic.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
plastic,
Plastic.
Yeah,
ceramic.
industrial.
How
So
many
then that's
boxes
gonna
do
have
we
to be
buy and
left
walk around?
outside, am I correct?
So they'll pick them up from the parking lot.
So between, how much time are we talking about
Monday,
between the
the
Has to
next
be
sale?
one day, Sunday to Monday, it has to be picked up by
They'll
Monday.
pick them
Okay.
up Monday.
I mean, it has to be,
We're
last
gonna be busy.
year we had a promise that it would be picked up Monday, and remember, they were out here until we were
Yes.
begging, and then they
Yes.
took half.
Yeah.
So, it was a different group, but I'm just saying, we need a
Yep.
real guarantee that they're gonna take those Monday.
All right, treasurer report.
You, it's
You
you.
had,
Any bank statements?
we
I've had
finally,
the flu.
but we finally saw some deposits from, Amy had them in the.
But I didn't see them till tonight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But
So
isn't that
we have
nice?
to coordinate. It's awesome, and I deposited, $194 into the account from lost books and purchase of the Groveland book and the Woodbury
collection.
collection.
So it's,
Which I don't know
But
what
you're
that
not getting
is.
It's the pictures of the antique
You
houses
did get
done
a-
by
I
Dr.
just got
Woodbury.
one now.
We got a
literally
citizen-
now.
Oh, that
From
happens
Citizens
all the
Bank, so it's
That
got
happens.
43 cents in interest.
There's more things flying around.
Yeah, that's like,
there's a B
figure out what
and a
to do with
bug,
that money.
and a now and
I don't
then.
know,
So it
we're gonna
earns
have
a
to have a
little more
separate
money.
meeting on that.
Yeah.
And we have the
Trust
withdrawal that Barbara did on the Institution for
And I
Savings.
forgot to bring, I've got it all stapled together at home with the receipts.
So you did the withdrawal of, because the Institution of Savings was saying that they weren't having any activity from
Activity.
us and it wasn't getting to us in time, so by the time we got it, they were charging us, they were
They
taking
were
away our
taking away
interest.
our interest.
So Barbara went in and pulled $25 to give us activity, and then did you put it right back in?
No, I wanted to wait until,
Okay.
like this month, cause this is the second quarter now. I
Yeah.
did that the first quarter, I'll do deposit in the second quarter. You know, we can play this.
This is
game.
the CD,
No,
No, this is a,
the
this
checking.
is just a savings account that we have.
Oh, I thought that was a CD.
I thought, yeah,
Okay.
where do we have?
$75,000, that's
And
just
savings
a,
account.
Savings account.
but that has all the delineated accounts in it, in
No, it's
institutions?
citizens.
No,
Citizens,
Citizens
that's
has
the
all
one.
the,
It's all delineated,
Okay,
All
the
right,
separate
let's
trusts.
just have one person talking, sorry.
yeah.
all
In
right.
fact, I'm going to the bank next Monday and I will deposit that $25 back.
Okay,
Tuesday, Monday's
Okay, so that's the CD.
The bank is open on Monday.
so it is a CD.
I get paid on Monday. No, it's not, that's a savings
Well-
account.
Savings account.
It is a savings account.
Okay,
We have no CDs right now.
So we told you the wrong
Right.
information when we were looking at it the other
We
day.
had CDs, but the
That's
rates were so
interesting.
sucky, we didn't do them again.
You must be able to, well, that's a whole nother discussion. A way to invest that money so that you get a better return.
okay.
We do have money in, the Vanguard, what is that?
Do you have any Vanguard statements? Did you go online and look at them? You didn't look at any
You
stuff?
got the annual, I think it was the prospectus, I gave that to you last week.
I was the treasurer and I passed all this on to.
Well, then why don't you do it again? That would be
Well, maybe.
terrific.
Lou,
That would be
you're gonna
wonderful,
have
I would be
time
very
this
happy in the next election if you would like to do that.
Back to your Vanguard.
The Vanguard are two stock funds, a stock and a bond
Yeah.
fund that we had open years and years and years and years ago with some of the money from this.
time. Right,
And they only send out quarterly statements.
but we've
And
got
they
an
very
online account, we can go online and look and everything.
But they very well, but that needed to be explained,
Yeah,
but they very well could be tied up at town hall too. Remember, we've had a change
yeah, that's what I
in
think is
finance
happening.
directors and it very well could be.
Or maybe
tied
they
up.
just decided not
And
to
they're only
send paper
quarterly
anymore.
Might
That's
not.
true.
You know, because
They might.
mine, you have to, every month I have to say, yes, keep sending me my paper, please.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's something to do with Denise, that's, it's not getting.
Well, I think
so
that,
that Lori
it's-
can get it.
everybody has their own way of doing things and
Yeah.
processes that work for them and so.
well, I was happy to see two, anyway.
Yeah.
Any other thing on our agenda? No, other an adjournment?
And so you're gonna go, I'm sorry, did you say you're gonna go to the fire station? Bob Light, usually always is there on Monday and Tuesday afternoons.
Where do I have that written?
So,
Yeah, Bob Lake, fire chief.
yeah, and
Monday
he's very,
Tuesday.
very nice. He'll walk you through, he'll show you around and show you what was done.
You're gonna send me the
He'll also
updates
talk to
or
you about-
things that you have.
Safety of the
Yeah,
library,
well, that's
too.
what I was gonna actually talk to him about.
Yes, cause he had asked again that when he could come and meet with staff volunteers.
Because we have a defibrillator that I'm not sure what staff knows how to use,
Okay.
so that we'll need
You would do this
defibrillator
I think
training
You need
again.
training,
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's very
staff
easy.
volunteers and trustees, as many as possible.
Yeah, and we cleared out the back hall, so there's
Exactly.
access to the fire extinguishers and.
Personally, I'd like another fire extinguisher
Mm-hmm.
in this room,
Yeah.
because there isn't one.
Yeah.
And this is where we, I think, you know,
yeah,
you're
between
kind
the
of,
kids and the,
Right.
the programs.
Yeah.
The programs, this is the most.
Yep.
I got to use a fire extinguisher
he's-
not too long ago.
Oh, I hope I never get to use one.
Yeah, I know. Me too, I could do without having to do it.
But Bob will come
We
at
have
our
information
convenience
about-
and be
do the training.
very, very
Oh.
good at the training and everything. He's a great guy.
Our projector?
actually, Amy, do you have any update on that?
Well, my understanding is that the cable commission, is that what you call them?
Yeah.
Wanted to put a drop in here, a cable drop.
Yes.
Yes, and we
Um,
decided not to.
And
They put it in the fire
with the cable drop, they were going to install the projector and the screen.
Right.
But since you guys decided you didn't want the cable drop, they said, well, too bad. So no, we just have to hire somebody or do something.
So
That's the
Denise was
problem.
looking at 2 places to hire.
I don't know, I haven't talked to her.
Okay.
I mean,
Maybe,
Because at
maybe
this
we
point,
could, maybe the trustees, or who's the connection with Denise? We agreed to just have one trustee.
Well, we've given our connection back to Amy,
Oh, you have,
So-
okay, alright.
so
unless we need something
Denise
like,
was looking at
we're
vendors
working on
because
something
she
like
had,
that.
Well, she's the one
she's
who-
the vendor.
Okay,
yes.
I'll ask her because she's the
Because
one
she-
who told me that.
Yes, and that's
scenario.
where we left it,
Right.
she
Yeah,
was
we know
gonna
that,
look
yeah.
at
Yeah.
another, but
Okay.
we're happy to get more bids or whatever it takes, so we have the money. The money is just sitting there waiting for us to,
and we have the equipment.
and the equipment,
Okay,
everything is safely packed in the back hallway.
Oh, thank you. So
okay, so we can move on that then.
Um,
We've got the money and.
We have the money,
Yeah,
and
Carlos
it's
had-
already,
Do it.
yeah. Carlos had said
wired.
like HA somebody and they weren't coming through. So Denise had another contact
Okay.
that she was gonna
excellent.
because
ask.
that one company was in Rhode Island or somewhere that we would have
Yeah.
to put them up for the night or two.
Yeah,
Um,
Put
so
in a
she's-
projector.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
because of the
So-
distance, the travel, and, there's gotta be a local
The
company.
custodians
There's
at the
got to
school
be.
put in the
That's
projector at
We've,
the school I
um,
worked in, I'm sure it's not.
This is a really busy time for town hall, right
Yeah.
through town meeting,
Right.
so
we
we
have-
can ask
and
the
we've already
question,
paid for the
but wait for
electricity.
the answer.
Sorry.
We could ask the question and wait for the answer, because we might have to wait until after.
Yeah,
town.
right,
Yeah.
so.
They have so many, they've been having
Right,
3
it's
meetings
not
a
like-
week.
Yeah.
It's been sitting here for a while, I mean, we should get it done, but.
Yes,
Right.
Yeah.
there's
So
gotta
we,
be a
we
local.
put the electricity in already. So we
Yeah,
already had
got
the,
the
we
outlet.
already had the electricians in.
Okay, good.
It's just a matter of,
It's literally the
Yeah.
installation, that's all.
And one of the challenges is
Oh, I
that
see
these are
that
drop
now.
ceilings and there's a lot of rigmarole up there.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why we haven't like just
We want
done
a
it ourselves.
professional do it. So it's anchored properly.
so it doesn't
So it
have to
doesn't-
fall
Jen and
into
I
the
were here with
same-
our screwdrivers.
We were ready and willing,
Yeah.
they told us to get down.
Carlos was was donating a screen.
It's all here, everything is
Everything
here.
is
screen
here.
is here.
Screen on that wall and a projector
Everything
there.
is here.
I will
Open up
say, and
these
Laura, you
have
probably know
movies
this,
and-
the room set up side to side is
and they'll
beautiful.
peel
Yes.
and all the money for it.
Yeah.
It's been over a
Okay,
year.
so let's do
The
it.
long, the room
Oh,
set up
oh,
in the
done.
long
Yeah.
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 with the room opening and the
That was
moving,
our-
the
that was our
moving
annual
shelves
sale.
is really good.
How we doing, are we good?
You're good, we're having an adjournment?
Yeah.
I don't think we adjourn, don't we just close?
Yeah,
Or-
just
No,
adjourn.
That's right. The new
At 8:39.
Oh my God, yes.
Wow.
I know,
Before
I